says Daham Better Racing League. We are at round 5 in Brazil. Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo de Brazil, as we are waiting the drivers to load up. For today's format, we are not gonna have any qualifying. We're only gonna have the 100% race with the formation lap, so I can talk you through the format of this race. In this race, we're gonna have a reverse grid by the championship. So, who is in the first few places of the championship will start at the back, and who is in the last places with few points, 1-0, is gonna start from the front rows. Also, the drivers who has never showed up, we have some reserve as CFF, who does their debut for the Ferrari, are gonna start in last places, behind the driver who are at the top points. We have the first few spectators. We're gonna have a really good start, a really good race, because the fastest driver are gonna try to overtake the others as soon as they can, and they're not gonna have so much patience, I guess, and so we'll see some exciting lap in the first few minutes as we're waiting the driver to load their setups, choose the strategy, manage the fuel, and we're hopefully gonna have a formation lap, and we will. Do we? Yeah, we will. We have Alan Jupp in pole position, then F1 Mason, Tibran, Snaglefuf, who are in the championship has 3 points, Mr. G. Hammerheim, who has 4, Moonman Graham with 6, Luca who is not here today, sadly. So we have Barks with 7 in P7, quite funny. Then Math, who won the last race in the Red Bull, but by the time it was all the first race, actually is not here. Yeah, he missed it. I was really sure that Matt would have raced today, but anyway, we are not gonna have it. So Luca is P8. I think something isn't good because Luca has 6 points in my driver's championship driver standings, but maybe I made a mistake, sorry. Then we have Heisenberg, who is substituted by CFF, the new entry for Ferrari. Happy, Deepava, the 2 McLarens, very close to each other in the championship, respectively 14 and 18 points. Then the Judas Race Dirt Shark were at Fred and Simopets, who is leading the way after a bad third race in Belgium. He managed to score some points with realistic performance of the car, and he'll get back into P1 in the championship with 32 points, while Fred and Warren are on 30 points, just 2 away, and we're gonna have an amazing first lap. At least I truly hope so, and I think we will. So let's wait the driver to load. And they're loading, unloading, and we have, and the graphics is a little bit backed out. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, even if we can see them. And it's lights out, and away we go. The Racing Point didn't get a good start. Deepava got an amazing start. Let's see at the back. It does looks like everyone went good. We have an AlphaTauri cutting the track of Moonman Graham, the Red Bull of Dirt Shark losing places. And there is a very messy position going to the braking point of third 3. The Red Bull driver, we saw some front wing flying off. And Simopets has lost many places on P16. Probably by some contact, while Brooke Littlewood and Chef gained 8 places. Mason is now leading the group in P1. Let's get on board with him. T. Brown following very closely as Luca was gained 5 5th position. It's gonna be his race finally. There is already some overtaking Nail as overtake the championship leader of Simopeds, who's I guess does have some front wheel damage. It doesn't look like, maybe some minor. Ooh, Nail! He's out. He managed to get back on track. Luckily for him, there is a very good fight up in front for P8 as F1 Mason cross the lines first. CFF overtake, happy overtake. Is the Alfa Romeo gonna try diving inside? Ooh, very close to each other. CFF gonna have a very good line of Alan Job, who was the leader of this race, as he's now in P6. Probably gonna lose another places, as Luca is fighting also for P2, and they're going wheel to wheel in turn number 5. Ooh, very close fight between the two of them. And Happy lost the place to Julius Race also. So not the best start for the McLaren driver, as Dirt Shark managed to get back on P12 where he started after a very messy start. Well, we have Mr. Jim and Hammertime and Nell going into the pit, probably because of some damage. But let's stay focused on this very good battle between Dirt Shark and Happy. Dirt Shark doesn't want to give up and he's gonna have the battle line, also because Happy is on the medium tires, so he doesn't have the pace to fight with these drivers. We're ahead of them in the championship as Simopeds walk his way through. F1 Mason increased the gap, and also Bartle the Hood get a move down on Happy, who is losing many places. Managed to get the position done. Very sportsmanship between the two drivers. And while we have an overtake around the outside, Simopeds of the racing point of Alan Jupe, who has dropped down massively from P1 to P13 now, because Barks looks like he's following Simopeds on every move he does. Alan Jupe doesn't spot the braking point very nicely, and he's gonna lose the place also to Fred, Happy and Clay. So, and also Mooman, so from P1 to P17 in a matter of 3 laps. While Luca is losing some time here behind T. Brown. We know his speed, we know his pace, his race pace. He's not the most consistent driver, but he surely has road pace and his bravery onto the overtake. Ooh, does a little touch to the Alfa Romeo driver. He's gotta messed up his acceleration with overtake on DRS. Wide open, he's surely gonna get the move done. Doesn't look like he's opening the DRS, as you can see, is closed. When there is also a fight between Snaggletooth and the CFF. Ooh, Snaggletooth dives down inside, and CFF with the fastest lap gets the P5 into the prize points, because I remind you, in this league the first driver who crossed the line every race gets £50, the second gets 30, the third 10, the third 20, the fourth 10, and the fifth gonna have £5, £5. As Brooke Littlewood, a very known person to Barks. Warren going down inside the Alfa Romeo driver, very bold move from the Mercedes driver. As Julius Race is following his teammates onto the medium tires, Brooks does leave the door open to Warren and gets the position. CFF 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Penalty is gonna be a really big factor here. Warren locks up going wide, as now Brooks is gonna have his chance to overtake the Mercedes driver. Let's see the battle behind. Dirt Shark losing plum places, also with Fred Nolasco. Fred Nolasco losing many. I wonder what happened. Let me put the map, the big map on. Brooke going around the outside, little touch on the grass. Ooh, very close between the two of them. It's still a race. Gonna try the overtake, doesn't have the DRS to do so. And Warren is gonna keep the position. Let's see if he's gonna increase the gap. And also Luca lost some places to Deep Power, and CFF is probably gonna done a mistake, as Fred is now into the pits going to the R tire, so he most likely lost his wings and got damaged. Let me see. Ooh, Julius Race battling with the Alfa Romeo. Ooh. Julius Race doesn't looks like He gave enough space to the Alfa Romeo driver. Also Simo Pezz is now joining the party to fight for P10, but I think the overtake around the outside in this corner on the medium is gonna be hard. But he's gonna try it anyway. It's gonna work for the Ferrari driver, looks like. The both of them are gonna drain their ERS down the line. And we have a fight also for P1 between Tribrand and F1 Mason. Let me check that, because I think Simo Pezz is gonna get easily the position on the Alfa Romeo driver. As Tribrand tried a dummy on the Alpha Tauri driver, but it doesn't manage to get the position. And now gets even overtaken by the McLaren driver of Tribrand as GFF has spun off the race. Has got to let the driver work safely, and GFF lost from P4 to P11, spinning out. So sad for the Ferrari driver. Also Clay Racing overtaking in the Haas. What a great few laps we're having right now. Also Simo Pezz in P8 fighting with Julius Race, a very strong driver contended for the Drivers' Championship. We have seen him in a very blasty race pace in Spain last time around in the Mercedes with realistic performance. But due to disconnection, he didn't manage to finish his race, while we had Happy, who has disconnected from the race, so I'm gonna try to invite him back as soon as I can. Hopefully we're not gonna lose that much of a time. Let me try. It's just gonna be a second. Alright, we're back now. Anything swapped? Let's switch to the tires. I want to see. Here we are. Many drivers elected the soft tires. Everyone could choose the tires to start. Only Julius Simo Pezz went to the mid, also Happy, but is now disconnected. Also GFF is on the mediums, while Neil, Mooman and Fred has to swap their first compound of tires due to some damage onto the front wing. Now the two Mercedes are gonna fight for P6, and if Giulio has the medium tire, so he doesn't want to overtake his teammates, but he has to defend from Simo Pezz. It's a no good position for Julius Race, the Italian driver, while Simo Pezz had the fastest lap of the race. F1 Racing Warner let the Julius Race pass almost onto the way of Simo Pezz, who is now gonna try and overtake the Mercedes driver, who has let pass his teammates. He's gonna try dummy. He can quite do that. Warren locks up and managed to keep the position. Simo Pezz looks like he does want to go around the outside, but he hasn't the pace to do so. As Dirt Shark now dive into the pits, probably because of some damage, and now has to rework his way up as Fred and Lasco. We were expecting some of the top drivers getting some damage, because on these first laps in Brazil the track is very narrow, so also the braking point is quite hard to spot in the first lap starting from the back. And now we have a really close fight between P2 and P3. Tribrand going around the outside of Deep Power. Mason locks up in front. Deep Power is now gonna have the chance to get the lead for the first time in the UK SS Dakar Battle Racing League. Overtake. DRS wide open. Mason has most ERS of the McLaren driver, but he has to concede the position. Is Deep Power gonna take the place? He is, and the AlphaTauri driver locks up. Ooh, and then we have contact between him and Luca. Very unfortunate for Luca, very unfortunate for Mason. Now the AlphaTauri has to retire from the race. Luca got damage, so the Julius Race is now in P4, and Luca is between the two Mercedes. So Warren is now gonna lose with Simo Pezz so much time. because look at as now front wing damage, so unfortunate for the Racing Point driver Aston Martin, sorry, that was having a very good race, looking forward to P2, P3. It doesn't looks like it's gonna get a clean race, sadly for him, and most likely he's gonna go into the pits as he does so. And Simopets is now gonna try to overtake Warren in this third one in the Senna S's, but he doesn't have the DRS to do so. The DRS, sorry. And try to have a look on turn 3, but it's the same thing. Luca is now into the pit, he's gonna lose many places. We have to watch out for a battle going out for P1 between Deep Power, Tuber and Snaggletooth, while Julius Race, Warren and Simopets are closing in, as Brooke Littlefoot is going with the two beasts, the two, I would say, fastest driver on raw speed, Warren and Simopets. He's getting there, and also Barcelona that looks like he has the pace. It's just under the 2 seconds gap, as Brooke looks like he's going quite fast on this track. I had the honor to race with him, and he does have the race pace of the most driver. Ooh, Simopets going around the outside of Senna Hesse. Is Warren gonna give him enough space? He has. He's now gonna get squeezed to the left, and Simopets get the move done, but he won't finish now because Warren has the more DRS of the two of them, also the DRS, and we're gonna have a very close fight in the next lap. By the time also that Simopets has the medium tires and the softs are on Warren. The soft on 50% race lasts 50%, so I wonder how much they will last on 100% race. Surely the difference between the two compounds isn't that much at this stage of the race. You can see Brooke is really closing in on Warren, who looks like he's struggling for some pace, for some grip. Also Snaggletooth, really close to Tibran, is now gonna have DRS and ERS open, while Tibran has the red light flashing. Snaggletooth doesn't look like he's opening the DRS, while Julius Race is right behind me, he's closing in. He's going to have a dummy. Let's see if he can work it. Yes, he can. From 100 meters behind, that's a fantastic overtake by the Mercedes driver who's on a charge from the last race. He doesn't want to waste any time whatsoever, and he's now in P3 looking to go to P2 and P1. Snaggletooth has to concede the position from this amazing overtake, while Simopets is about to get Warren once again, because the Mercedes driver managed, as I was saying, to overtake the Ferrari driver, but we couldn't miss this fantastic maneuver by Julius Race on Snaggletooth, as Alan Job and Mr. Jammertime lose some places to Neil. What a close fight they will have. They're having Mr. Jammertime doesn't manage to get the position back on the last driver. So let's see how the Ferrari driver of Simopets is gonna deal with Warren, with the Mercedes driver. Are they gonna swap places once again? Going down inside of turn 1 on the main straight, very clean line from the Ferrari driver, but Warren doesn't give up, doesn't want to know anything about that. Now the Ferrari driver Simopets is gonna go around the outside, the bang wheels. Is the Ferrari gonna go around the outside if the Mercedes gonna leave him any space whatsoever? Ooh, it's force him off the track. But now Simopets will surely concede the position and has to wait another lap. Now the medium tires are going to be a buffer compound to the Mercedes to the soft tires of the Mercedes driver. Also, we have to keep a look on Julius Race because he's on a charge. He will be super hyped for the move of Snaggletooth, and now we're gonna have a really good battle with T-Bran, the Alfa Romeo driver. Stick to the racing line onto the right. This Julius Race gonna try down inside. He doesn't quite has the pace to do so. He's surely trying to overtake the Alfa Romeo driver as soon as he can, but he has drained all these URS. Let's see, Simopets got the move done, Warren, and now he's gonna try to break away from the Mercedes driver, but it doesn't look like he will, as Brooke is still in the party, as well as Barks the Hood, who is now glued to his nephew back hand wing, and they are having a very good race pace at its stance. And GFF work his way through, overtaking Clay Racing with a new set of mediums, but it doesn't that much of a new because he's 13th lap sold, just because he did need to change his front wing. As Julius Race is now close, but he has 0% of ERS. Also T-Bran, Julius Race is surely gonna try it right now, but it doesn't look convinced at all. He does want to try a little bit with a little bit more gap, with a little bit of space, at least being wheel to wheel. And Barks is now really close to the Alfa Romeo driver of Brooke. But this doesn't look like he's gonna get the overtake. Julius Race really close. Also D-Power leading the group. Now for 10 laps after Mason was in P1 and then spun out, hit Luca, and then managed to save his suspension. T-Bran has lost his car, lost the wheel, and now he's on the grass and is gonna lose P2, P3, P4, and most likely even P5 to Warren. Let's see if Brooke is gonna carry the momentum on his teammates and is gonna get the move done. Surely T-Bran does not have any heroes whatsoever to fight with, to play with, so Brooke doesn't want to waste it and he's gonna try to go down inside. Let's see from Barks' perspective. Brooke locks up, going wide. T-Bran try to switch back of Dreams around the outside of the Senna S's. Doesn't want to concede the position to his teammates. Overtake DRS, but there isn't much energy to spend, and so Brooke can now take P6. What a fantastic exordium for the Alfa Romeo driver. Also followed by his teammates and then Barks to Food. Let's get back to the fight of the place that really counts. D-Pava against Julius Race for P1. Now the Mercedes driver has stored some of the URS and is now glued to the back end of the McLaren. He's surely gonna try the overtake right now. Dirt Shark over to Luca, but they're really close on track. Let's see, overtake on DRS, wide open, going down inside. D-Power stick to the racing line, but I don't think he's gonna have the space he needs to fight back. Maybe right now. Ooh, very good slingshot. Now Julius Race is under 10% of ERS, but D-Power doesn't look like he wants to fight. He doesn't want to waste any time whatsoever and let Julius Race work his way to create a gap. Surely to Simopets and Warren will look to catch him. Simopets is now really close to the podium. Places Snaggletooth. Looks like he's just let him pass. Very far from the Williams driver. We will love to add a battle between the two of them, but Snaggletooth very wisely decide to let the Ferrari driver to not hold him up and not also damages race. Simopeds lockups. The drivers are lucky that there is a big chunk of curbs in the exit of the last turn, because otherwise most of the drivers would have been into the grass, spinning out of the race. Thibran very close to his teammates. Also Barks trying to go down inside, but he doesn't have the speed he would. Also the ERS is quite low. He surely will need to store something. We have a second comment. So sorry, but I can't rate it as it stands. As Fred overtook Alanjup. I'm gonna open Twitch right now, so if you want to write a comment back, as I will certainly read it. So if you want to write it, then write it down now. This is a very good fight for P6, as Brook, who is not that far away from the Mercedes driver, I should say, is very much in the zone, is very much in the second gap, 1 second gap. Also D-Power hasn't left Julius Race do his things, because he's still in 9/10. Looks like we're not gonna have the comment back. Let's see if Barks does have the speed right now to fight T-Bran. T-Bran goes a little bit defensive, but now Barks who gets the move done. Let's see from the back of this wing. Is he gonna keep the position, because now Thibran is gonna have the DRS and also the Earth to play with. But it doesn't look like he has the pace. Ooh, goes on down inside and gets the move. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Now Thibran looks like he was gonna have the position on the Renault driver, but he didn't. So now things have come down after a very incredible start, amazing start. I love it. Now Brook is still on the pace of Warren, and also D-Power hasn't let Julius Race go, even if D-Power is on the soft tires while Julius Race is on the mediums. And I wonder how much are the softs still around the medium compound. I think the medium compound are so much better at this stage of the race. So very good done from the McLaren driver. Let's watch the switch of from the position. So Julius Race from P11 to P1. Also D-Power and Simopeds respectively P8, P10, 8 places and 12 places. Naglfus, very good race from the Williams driver. He told before the race that Brazil was his track, so he's surely gonna have this carrying this momentum till the end of the race, and looking for a very good points finishing. Warren in P8, Brook in P11, very good start from him, from P17 on the grid to P6. Barks still in P7, very good performance from him. Also Thibran lost 5 places in the Alfa Romeo. Chekhov gained 9 with also a pit stop, so very good pace for the Ferrari driver. Neil gained 6, Mr. Jiman Hammerheim lost 6, Clay gained 7, good for him, while Alanjup, Mooman, Luca and Happy lost much, more than 9 places each, so not the best start of the race, not the best 20 laps of the race for them. We are still on board with Brook because he's the closest on track, but he doesn't look like he wants to overtake the Mercedes. He does want to stay with him in the DRS range, in the DRS range, in that second gap, under the second gap, so he can store his DRS. And then after let the swap after the pit stops, because both of them are on the soft tires, so we're probably gonna see some undercut, some overcut. And even if I don't think the undercut on this track is that powerful, actually I think the overcut is much of a thing. Chef Barksdale, who dives into the pits, the first one of the soft runner to do so. So he's surely gonna try something different from the Alfa Romeo driver, for the both Alfa Romeo drivers, who are surely gonna respond to this in the next few laps. Let's see, GFF was close to nail. He's draining his CRS, is gaining some momentum, but it's not enough. Barks is gonna join in front of his teammates, who is having quite an anonymous race after the incident on the hard tire. Is just looking to get some speed going, some momentum going. Currently in P14, Fred Nolasco, who can't afford a non-point finishing because he's in P2 in the championship, just 2 points behind Simopets, who, I'm so sorry I didn't see that, but has overtook Deep Power and is now catching to Julius Race. Also Warren now gets the position of Snagglers, of course, because the Williams driver pitted, as well as Brooks, so T-Brand surely has to continue, as we can see, but I want to stay on board with Brooke, so we're gonna see, let's go on board with Barks, so we're gonna see if the undercut was powerful, now that Barks has some of a traffic up in front of the drivers who hasn't pitted yet, but they are not affecting because he has just catch them. So let's see if Brooke is gonna stay in front of him, and he does it. As I was saying, the undercut is not that powerful. GFF let them pass. I wonder why. I don't know the true reason. Maybe was about to lose it. GFF got a really nice start, but then not the best of the races. Dirt Shark is now trying to overtake the Williams, while Clay is glued to the back of him, and Barks is losing some momentum, some pace, as Deep Power now goes into the pit. And I wonder how much Alfa Warren is gonna continue on the soft tires. He does want to go as much as he can, maybe to put a set of hours and go till the end. I don't know if it's the right strategy. Maybe the medium can do 4 laps and try to stretch the softs as much as possible to do a soft to medium strategy. That would be difficult. But let's see also from the two guy up in front, Julius Race and Simopets, who now are gonna hammering times after times, and you're gonna see their true pace. The two drivers who are in the rivalry from the championship, for the championship. Julius Race has 24 points, 8 less than the Ferrari driver who is leading, but he surely has the pace, he surely has the consistency, and we saw it. Now GFF went into the pits, lost the places on Luca. Luca got a really nice indication because he went to the hard tires, but let's see if Simopets is gonna go down inside. Is Julius Race gonna give up his position? He has quite easily to the Ferrari driver. Maybe he does want to see if he has the pace of Simopets to store some ERS, but he has already got 6 tenths between the two of them. Also Barks is really close to Clay. Is surely gonna have his occasion right now because Clay has 24 old soft tires, and also his red light is flashing. DRS wide open from the Renault driver, is gonna try down inside. Clay shut the door and doesn't concede the position. Also T-Brown is trying to come back of Barks to Hood, but it has the truck turned right, and he hasn't the space to do so. Clay is now waving and waving, making him lose so much time to the two drivers behind, helping Brooke, who has now got a very nice gap between he and the Renault driver. Let's see also Julius Ray's perspective, because he's very much in that second gap to the Ferrari driver, who has a penalty. Let's see, I think 3 seconds of penalty. I was messed up. Yes, 3 seconds. While Brooke has 6 already. Also Tibran. The Alfa Romeo drivers didn't really train on doing some race pace without corner cutting. Sorry. Let's see Neil, who is really close to Deep Ava. Neil still is yet to pit, so most likely Deep Ava is gonna leave in. It's gonna create a gap. Also Tibern is really close to Clay. He overtook Barks, but Barks got on the inside of the... and that was a bold move, I have to say, a risky one. And he didn't pay the price, because now Barks lost the place to Fred Nolasco, also a 3-second gap. But surely these soft tires, these brand new soft tires, are gonna help him to come back to his teammates. Fred Nolasco is really close to Tibran. He's now going around the outside. Ooh, he's gonna touch the Haas. They lost some front wing. Let's see from the television cam. It doesn't look like, hopefully, as Tibern is now come back. FDS driver gets the move done. Let's watch it from this perspective. Both drivers going wide. Fred Nolasco is now gonna try have a look on Clay Racing, maybe in the next breaking point. But it looks like he gave up and he's gonna wait for another straight, taking a wide line to carry some momentum more than his opponent. Clay is really stretching the soft tires to try and go for a soft to medium strategy. Julius Race is really close to Simobets. Also Neil has just overtook Deep Ava. What an incredible move from the Haas driver, who's on a 25 old medium tires and is now in the gap to come just behind Tibran, but he will surely with a brand new softs or maybe hard tire, depends on the strategy does want to do. And Clay is fighting with Fred Nolasco. Fred going around the outside of the Haas driver, and the Haas driver of Neil has to give up the position to Fred, who is working his way back to the field. Neil locks up going wide, and Barks is already back under the second gap, luckily for him. You can see in the minimap in the bottom right that the Mercedes and the Ferrari are going together, stick together till the pit stop, probably, even if Julius Race is on the cusp of a 1 second gap. He's now outside of the DRS range. Let's see if Barks is gonna carry the momentum enough to overtake Clay Racing going down the main straight. Very good exit overtake on is Clay. That is gonna defend. I don't think so. Most likely I'll see him into the pits, but does want to continue another lap. And now Clay is gonna lose the place also on the Renault driver, and he backs out of it. Barks goes really deep, and now the Haas driver is gonna have the momentum to fight back, and sure he will. DRS overtake, wide open. Barks goes defensive, and Clay Racing backs out of it. And now Barks is gonna have the pace to stretch a gap between him and Clay. Let's also watch the perspective of Snagletooth, who is gaining and gaining on Deep Ava, who is on the brand new soft and medium, but it looks like he's finding himself very well, because he lost the place to Neil, who's on a 26 all set of mediums. And also Snaggletooth is very close, but not close enough for this lap. As now Dirt Shark overtook Brook Littlefoot. I forgot about Dirt Shark, who had a contact on lap 1, is now on a 21 old soft tires, compound tires, and managed to stay in front of the Alfa Romeo driver, who got pretty wide. Most likely he got a warning. Let's see Snaggletooth also trying a move on Deep Ava. Snaggletooth is surely not gonna end the race on this compound of soft tires, because the soft will last, we saw, around 20 to 30 laps, so it doesn't have the gap to do so. Also Warren is still around on these soft tires. He does need through the mediums if you want to optimize his strategy, because if the softs can do 30 laps, then the medium are gonna be easily do 40 to 45 laps. So also Simopets and Julius Race know this, so they're gonna stretch their mediums for other 10 laps or so, maybe even more. Let's watch if Snaggletooth is gonna get the overtake on Deep Ava. We have to McLaren, but is lapping Happy, who has disconnected from this race. Brook doesn't want to give up the position on Dirt Shark, is now following him around. So, as now the position looks a little quiet, there is that much of a fight as it stands. We're gonna have a look on this rivalry and of the standings to understand what is going on in this race, who is benefit, who is losing some points, and also who is gonna take that 500 pounds of the first place of the driver and constructor championship. Now Simopets is leading the race, so he will increase his championship lead from 2 points up to 10, depends when Warren and Fred Nolasco finish the race. Let's see who has the fastest lap overall. It's just in the hands of Luca, who's at a 110.6, sorry, on a brand new softs. Then we have Fred and Warren fighting for P2 in the championship respectively as 30 points. Both of them are 30 points, and now Warren is getting the most out of it in P3, but is still yet to pit, even if he has the gap to remain in P3 after the pit stop, because Nell is still yet to pit, while Deep Ava doesn't look like he has the pace of Warren, while Fred Nolasco is sitting on this hard tire since lap 7, and I don't think the hard tires, our compound, can do around 50 to 60 lap. It's gonna be really tough for him, as Warren comes into the pit to a brand new set of mediums, and actually he lost many places. Maybe the gaps were wrong, because yes, surely they were. Or maybe I put, yeah, there wasn't the gap between the drivers, but from the driver up ahead, up in front of Simopets. So now Warren head out in P8. He has to overtake on track Brook and Deep Ava surely to get onto P3, while Nell, Dirt Shark and are still yet to pit, also Snaggletooth. Clay Racing also comes into the pits for a brand new set of mediums. Then the two McLaren, then we have Dirt Shark on 19 points, and he will lose some points to Julius Race. Let's get on board with the Red Bull driver, who is really close to Snaggletooth. The pace between the two of them in this race looks similar, but Snaggletooth has a tire advantage because its softs are much much better than Dirtshark one. Even if Dirtshark has 6% of your rest, while Snaggletooth only has 8. Then we have the two McClar. Ooh, Snaggletooth. I wonder if let pass also Dirtshark. That looks like. Maybe because he knows that he's still yet to pit. So now Dirtshark moves up into P5 as Fred Nolasco overtook Sebring. And now he's in the back of Warren on these old hard tires. That show us the pace of the Renault driver Fred Nolasco on a 28 old set of hards. He's trying to overtake a Mercedes driver on a brand new mediums. And both drivers has 30 points, so they are fighting for P2 in the championship. Nothing that you see very often. Is Fred Nolasco gonna try move on Warren? Surely will. DRS wide open overtake on. Warren stick to the racing line. Fred Nolasco go down inside and gets the move done, but Fred Nolasco locks up. Is surely gonna cover a fight back from Warren, and he does, and he keep 8th place. So the question mark for the Renault driver is gonna hand this race on this set of hard tires. I don't think so, but we will see. Maybe he's gonna pop on the track with a brand new set of softs. Also, let's stay on board with Dirtshark, who is really close to Deep Ava. Dirtshark, who's having a fight back after an incident on the first few laps. So Deep Ava goes really defensive, while Dirtshark takes the racing line. Deep Ava managed to defend very well, but now Dirtshark is gonna have an opportunity going down on turn 3. DRS wide open, is not switching the overtake button on. Deep Ava stick to the racing line, and now Dirtshark is gonna have the best line of the two of them. Let me have a sip of water. I lost also this comment. If you want to, and the person who wrote it would like to send it again. Steve Brown now goes into the pit, and most likely is gonna lose the place on Clay Racing. So we're having a very good performance here, thanks to this format, from Neil, who is in P3 in the Haas. The Haas had only 3 points in the Constructors' Championship, and with Neil going this up, they will score a decent amount of points, even if he's still yet to pit. And we have Augusto cheering up for Fred Nolasco, who is currently in P8 and is now in P7 because Dirtshark boxed to a set of mediums. I don't think Fred can win this race because he is in P7 on the very old set of hard tires, while Simopets and Julius Race are still yet to pit, but there are no safety car, so he can manage to reduce this gap, as Julius Race now try the undercut, and goes into the pit for a set of softs. Let's see if Neil is gonna interpose between the two of them. That will have Simopets quite a lot. Julius Race is now exiting from the pit lane, and Neil is too far away. And now Julius, let's get on board with Judas Race outlap, and he's gonna try to reduce the gap that Simopets created on this medium set of tires. I want to remind you that Simopets has a 3-second time penalty, or even more, so he has to create some sort of a gap where he's outside of that window of 3 seconds, or even more, because he can't allow himself a mistake. Also Snaggletooth, let's keep an eye on that, because he's very close to D-Power, as he was from the last few laps. Snaggletooth is surely gonna come into the pits for the set of mediums or softs. Now, is Simopets responding to the undercut of Judas Race? He's not. He's continuing with this strategy with the medium tires. We're on lap 39 of the Brazilian Grand Prix of the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo do Brazil, and we're having a very good race. Snaggletooth is really close to D-Power. They are going wheel to wheel in turn 1. Snaggletooth gets the move down on this brand new, well, it's not brand new, soft of softs, but are still faster than the medium compound of D-Power. And now Snaggletooth moves up into P4, even if he's gonna have to pit once again. But I don't think D-Power can go to the end, or maybe he's gonna risk it anyway. There are some fans for Simopets, who is still in the lead in P1 with 39 laps on the medium tires. And let's see if he's gonna pit in this lap. He's not. He's going to continue another lap, while Judas Race is putting down the gap. It's now only another 26 seconds, and most likely he's gonna do the fastest lap of the race on this lap. Let's see if D-Power has the pace to stay with Snaggletooth. It does looks like D-Power doesn't really bother of someone overtaking, because he showed that he has the pace to continue with them. And yes, we have another fans for Fred Nolasco, who is now in P7. He has still 31 laps to do, and so he won't finish on these hard tires. He's probably gonna put a set of mediums, or if he can, a set of softs, if he can manage to do other 5 laps or so. Sure he will, because Simopets is on the medium with 40 laps, so Fred is gonna put some strong laps, around 6 or so, and then switch to a brand new set of soft tires. I want to remind that we had a qualifying session for this race. We had the race, 100% race with reverse grid championship, as now D-Power fight back the overtake of Snaggletooth and comes back into P4. Snaggletooth is still yet to pit, but he's doing some good job. Let's see if Simopets is gonna goes into the pit right now, and he is. So we will see where is he gonna exit, switching obviously to a set of subs. Judas Race pitted very early because he did want to add an undercut, but maybe the tires won't last till the end. We'll see if he will get a puncture. That would be very spectacular, because then a driver among Nail, D-Power, Snaggletooth, Burke, Fred, Shark are gonna fight. Also Warren are gonna fight for P3. We have a really close fight for the last step of the podiums. We are 15 spectators. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get on board with the Williams driver Snaggletooth Now in P5 they swap places with Deep Power in the last few laps. That's the closest battle we have on track, and we're really looking forward to it. Snaggletooth in the championship has only 3 points, while Deep Power has 18. So that shows the difference between the two drivers and show the pace, the true pace that Snaggletooth has on this track. Yeah, nice choice for Simapets, who has increased his gap to Julius Race from 4.5 seconds to almost 6, and Mr. Jim Hammerheim has retired from the race. I wonder what happened. His car is on the Senna Hesses, so most likely lost the car with touching the grass and lost the place. So it'll get in the back of the field with Happy and Mason, with Happy Wiz disconnected from the race. We have the uncle of Simapets cheering for the Ferrari driver, while Dirt Shark is really closing in to F1 Racing Warren, the Mercedes driver, who is Italian too. Mr. Jamal Hamilton left the session after his crash. So let's see if Dirt Shark has the pace to fight against Warren. Warren has a very good start of the race, and then he turned to quite not the best one, I should say, with Warren, who is fighting for P2 in the championship, and it doesn't look like he has the pace to stick up with Fred Delasco, who is on the 37 old set of hours, but it's surely sort of ours, but they're surely gonna have his chances by the time Fred, Brooke, Snaggletooth and Niels are still yet to pit. Now Snaggletooth coming to the pit. Let's see if he's gonna have a set of mediums. He has, because in the first 2 stints he put the soft tires on. Also Barks is gonna need to pit. We have a comment also for CFF, the other Ferrari driver, who is fighting for a points finishing on his first race. Now Mooman Graham is really close to Barks, and Bart is still he's lapped. So let's get on board with Dirt Shark. We are another fan from Simapets. Looks like the true power of Simapets is from the fans that are connected to this race. Simapets, who is increasing his gap to Julius Race in P2, already 8 seconds. But let's see if he got more penalty. Ooh, the Shark really close to Warren. Simapets was also the fastest lap of the race with a 1:9.3. So let's see penalties. Nice, he only has 3, while Brooke has 9. So Fred Nolasco is virtually on P5, even if he has to pit. But actually, maybe Brooke can go to the end, but he's gonna need to stretch his tires, his medium compound tires. Let's see, Dirt Shark, 0.3 of a second behind F1 Racing Warren. He's not the lap that will get the move down for P7. Dirt Shark is surely gonna hand this race on the hard set of tires, while Snaggletooth on the mediums is gonna have his chances by the end of the race. He's gonna need to get many maneuvers to get the P1. No, sorry, not P1, to get a point finishing where he was when he boxed, so in P5. But he showed us that he has the pace to do so. As we are having many spectators, I want to remind you that the sponsor of this league is UKSS.com Battle Racing League. Yeah, sorry, UKSS.com, who is a website where you can find really good works if you're a student. We have many young people surely in the live stream as me, as well as me. So Dirt Shark is not gonna have his chance to overtake Warren even this lap, but he does have the DRS to do so, but also Warren has the DRS to defend. Let's see, so Fred Nolasco on these hard tires, with now just about under the 1 second gap, would allow him to stay in the DRS range and fight for P5. Nell is still yet to beat with a 43 laps on mediums. We have some radio messages for Simopeds. They say to stay focused and keep pushing, the consistency of Simopeds is something incredibly. So it's known as the robot, as the machine. He puts several laps after laps. So let's see Fred Nolasco going around side of Brooks. Brooks fight back, going down inside, but Fred gets the move done, gets P5. So very unfortunate that Fred got damaged in the first few laps, because now he's gonna need to put another set of tires, most likely softs, and try to finishing the point. But if he has the pace on the hards, I wonder how his pace is gonna be on a brand new set of softs. While Barks is in the pit, so it's CFF 03 is now in the points in the last points with 1 point. I want to remind you, this is the all classical point setup, where the first gets 10 points, then second 9, till the 10th who get 1 point. We have another comment. Some fans also for Fred Nolasco. The two most cheered driver are surely Fred and Simopeds, with Fred is now in P5. He's doing a very good job laps after laps. His strategy to goes onto the hard tires really paid off. But Brooks is still in the gaps. Let's see, Dirt Shark is really close to Warren, but even this lap he has to back out of it. Yeah. Ooh, maybe not. He's trying to go around the outside, but Warren very wisely covered that spot. He tried to go around the outside on this corner. That quite a fantasy move, because it's not possible. Even if you have a better thigh, better pace, you're too far away. It doesn't look like you want to waste any ERS whatsoever. And also Warren, they're keeping the same pace. Even if a Dirt Shark might have something better than a Mercedes driver, I think that carrying with the Mercedes driver would be better for him. And as I said that, Dirt Shark lost the backhand of his Red Bull, and now Snaggletooth is gonna try and get Dirt Shark on his brand new set of mediums. Also Barks is closing in on CFF, who has to beat once again, while Brooke is closing also on Fred. I should say he always stayed in this 1 second gap. Ooh, we have a driver going wide, there's Clay, who's letting the other drivers go because of the blue flags. We have Neil finally into the pit after 46 laps. What an amazing effort for him. He's now surely gonna put a set of softs. So T-Power is now the driver in P3. He's gonna do around 46 laps on the mediums. He can do that because Neil managed to do so, but it's gonna be a tough call. Now Barks overtook CFF. I wonder what happened, because CFF didn't go into the pit, so most likely spun off. Also T-Brown got the move done, as now CFF is going into the pit to change his stars. Yes, they're asking for Fred Nolasco T-Cam on board, and we're gonna have it, even if it's almost 1.5 seconds off, and surely he's gonna box very soon to get the best of his soft tires. And as I said that, he goes into the pit, so sadly we're gonna need to swap. We're gonna get him after when starts his fight to get back in the place that counts. Now Warren is in P5, just 9 seconds behind Brooke, with some penalties. Let's see how many. 9 seconds of penalties, so Warren is still on a net P5 because of 3 tenths. Let's see if the Mercedes driver can manage to get into this gap. He has a 10 laps fresher mediums, and Neil right now was on a brand new softs. He's surely gonna try and move on Warren, and he's just put himself up to the pistol between Warren and the Shark. So he's probably gonna try to join for the first time in the points, in the big points, in the top 5. He hasn't that much ERS to play with. Warren goes defensive, Neil tried to go around the outside, there isn't that much of a gap there. He's surely gonna have another opportunities going down the back straight, down turn 3, the turn curve curved the soul. As now Neil goes around the outside, breaking 100 meter, but Warren doesn't leave that much of a room. But Neil gets the switchback of dreams on Warren, who is fighting back with overtake on, and gets the best line because the track goes right, and Warren is on the right part of the track. He locks up, so Neil is surely gonna have another opportunity very soon with Dirt Shark. Comes bigger and bigger throughout Neil vision, back vision, and Neil goes down inside the last turn, but lets the house driver keep the position, even if now he's surely gonna try move, but doesn't want to waste ERS and take it and use it on the final stage of the races. Neil is getting slowed down by Warren, who doesn't want to consider position. That's quite a normal point. Any driver doesn't want to give up their position. Also because the 5th driver is gonna have £5. Will earn £5. As it stands, Simapets will earn 50. Julius Race 30, DiPavel 20, Brooke 10, and Warren 5. But there is an intense fight for P5. Oh, Fred Nolasco. Let's see. We're gonna keep an eye on the distance because it's 10 seconds, but very soon I think it's gonna drop down. T-Brown goes into the pit, so let's see. Warren against Neil for P5. Warren stick to very tight to the left. Let's see from Dirt Shark perspective. Neil goes around the outside. Warren doesn't want to give up the position. Warren is onto the left. Neil goes around the outside on turn 2 on the Senna S, but it doesn't have the ERS to play. Warren is gonna surely try to go down inside. Neil just about stay on the track. Is Dirt Shark gonna try to get the move done? But now Warren with overtake with the force of the VRS. It goes into the P5 but lost the car. He lost 2 position, and luckily for him didn't lost the car completely, so he's now on P7. Dirtshark is glued to the back of Neil with a lot of VRS to play with. Very wise choice by the Red Bull driver, who is now gonna have the power necessary to fight for P5 and stay at the race pace of Neil. So let's see Fred Nolasco. 1 lap earlier, the gap was about 10 seconds, is now down to 6.5. He's gaining and gaining, and surely gonna try the best of. He's gonna try his best to get in to join this fight for P5 among Neil, Dirtshark and Warren, who is closing back of the two of them, were slowing each other. We have to mention also Brooke, who has 9 seconds of penalty, and Neil, I think, has the pace to catch him on this brand new softs. We'll see. Brooke is on his first race in this league, in the UKSS Dakar and Bethel Racing League, and is doing very, very well indeed for his Exordium. Dirtshark, very clean line from the Red Bull driver. 0.8 of a second. He's dropped a bit from the US driver, who has showed us a very good performance. Very well done from him. Now Fred Nolasco gained only, to say that, 7/10 in this last lap. We have still 14 to go. The first two places looks like they're gonna stay what they are. So Simapets in P1 and Julius Race in P2, but most likely we're gonna see a change. We're gonna see some very hard fight for P3, as now Brooke has closed in on Deepava. They pitted around the same lap, but Brooke has 9 seconds of penalty. He does need to overtake him and then create a very big gap, very wide gap. We'll see if he'll manage to do so. Dutch are just about staying in this on the 1 second as Deepava goes into the pit. Very strange move from the McLaren driver, who is gonna lose surely the place of Warren, also Fred, surely, and maybe also to Snaggleseth in the Williams. No, I don't think from Snaggleseth, but that's a very bold decision from the McLaren driver, who has to give as much as he can on this last 13 laps. Now get laps by Simapets. Let's see if he's gonna have more pace than the leader on this brand new softs, or he's gonna try to carry the same speed to stick with Simapets. Doesn't look like he has the pace to do so. Let me have a sip of water. We are on lap 58, and also Brooke goes into the pit. I don't quite get this strategy option from the two of them, because the hearts we saw from Neil that can do around 45 laps. So they had the gap to. They have only 12 laps to go on a 35 old set of mediums. They could arrive to 45 or so. So now the fight between Neil and Dirtshark is for P3, for a net P3, and also Warren and Fred are gonna join this party, but we can't discount Deepava and Brooke, because they are on a brand new set of softs in P7 and P8, and they're gonna gain a massive massive ton of times on Dirt Shark and Warren, on respectively on hard and medium tires. Quite old compound. Let's see, now Dirt Shark is off that second gap and is trying his best, draining his ERS with storage wisely in the middle of the race to come back of Nell. But hard versus soft is on a fair fight, so Nell is gonna have the best out of it, and he's gonna it looks like he's gonna get P3 unless I jinx that, and that will be a very good performance for the Haas driver. Fred Nolasco, let's get on board with him. He's just about in 1 second gap, he's 8 tenths behind Warren. He's surely gonna have the possibility to fight for P5 and then P4 and also P3. Let's see him doing what is the best, and that's the overtake. We saw him doing some fabulous move in this league so far. Let's see, Fred Nolasco 3 tenths behind Warren, we're struggling to get a pace. They both have an incredible amount of ERS for the stage of the race, but Fred has better tires, and also as the DRS Warren stick to the left of the track while Fred goes around the outside. Is Warren gonna give up? He's not. But the Renault driver gets the inside line. Warren has to stay, get very big touch, very big bang of the two of the wheels between the two of them. Warren locks up, broke really late. Now Fred is still in P5, got P5, sorry, and Warren needs to stay with him if he wants to have a fight for the points that really counts. Let's see the penalty situation, because Fred has 9 seconds of penalty, so he has to create a 6 second gap to Warren, and also has to overtake Dirt Shark of Nail and then create a very big gap, and in a matter of 10 laps I don't think he can do this. Also, but let's focus up. Sorry, let's focus up, yes, on the fight for P3 among Dirt Shark and Nell. Every laps that pass, Nell loses advantage, his soft advantage that you have in the first few laps. The softs are so a very good compound, but the most you wait to create a gap, the more you lose. The more you lose. Sorry. So let's see if you're gonna have the pace. Oh, we have another command. Let's go Fred Nolasco, yes, but he has 9 seconds of penalty. We'll see, anything can happen in this race. We have seen so many good fight among this driver, all very clean. So now D-Power is going down inside of Warren. As we were saying, we can discount D-Power and Brook for the fight of the points that really counts. Also because they are on a brand new set of softs, and Brook is now in the DRS range of Warren without ERS whatsoever, but will surely get his chances by the end of the race. Fred Nolasco is going aside. We don't know why. Oh, he's letting pass him Mopeds. Okay, now it makes sense. He didn't want to waste so much time. Simopets, I hope he's not gonna slow down Fred. Maybe he's gonna carry him to the two drivers that are fighting for P3. I hope so, for the Renault driver. As Dirt Shark is now really close to nail that, he's gonna have DRS for this straight. but it's not close enough. And it's not gonna be close enough even on this lap. It looks like he has the pace to stay with the Haas driver, but he hasn't the pace to get a move done, or maybe he's just waiting and waiting for the very last laps, very last 2-3 laps, as Brook is now really close to Warren, only 4/10 of a second, and he's gonna have his opportunity very soon. We have another comment. Let's see. No, it's not. Sorry. As now you can see, Brook is glued to the back of the Mercedes. Ooh, and he touched it, and he's surely gonna get some minor damage, since damages are reduced. Brook doesn't think he need of the energy button, energy recovery system. Warren really glued him to the right of the track, but he got outbraked by the Alfa Romeo driver, who comes back into P7. Now Brook is gonna try to go to come back to Deepava, and fight for P6 and also P5 by the time Fred has 9 seconds of penalty, and he doesn't looks like he has the pace to fight to catch. Sorry, Dirt Shark and Nail were fighting for P3. We're on lap 65, we're still 6 laps to go. Julius Race has abandoned it, has aborted the catching to the leader of Simabets. They both have 3-second time of penalty, and only a very big mistake of Simabets will cost him his race, who has been perfect, starting in the last places on the grid. Let's see if Brook has the pace to fight with Deepava, even if he has 9 seconds of penalty. Let's see how many has Warren. Oh, Brook has 12 right now, so he will lose the place on Warren, so he's on a net P8. Looks like Dirt Shark is really on the cusp of the DRS range. Did he make it? Yes, he is. So he's now into the DRS range. 0.8 of a second just behind. We're gonna see a very good fight in the last laps, where the Red Bull driver can drain all his DRS, even if Nail is not that far of the amount of Dirt Shark, who led much of the of a Grand Prix. I can't remember, maybe Silverstone or Spa, one of these two, but then suddenly looked like he hasn't the pace to fight with Fred Nolasco, who got the race lead and also W the win. Let's switch to the compound settings so we can see the driver's Dirt Shark is on a 28 all laps mediums. Credit to him to stay in P4 around this softs runner. His strategy really paid off. Fred Nolasco, as it stands, will lose the place to Deepava, and get P6. So he's gonna try to push as much as he can to create a 9 seconds of gap with the McLaren driver with only 3 laps to go. It's gonna be another task for the Renault driver, who has made an incredible recovery after the incident on the first few laps. So very well done from him. We're missing only 3 laps. We have only 3 laps to go. I wonder who is lapped, so we're gonna put this one. Only the top 5 is not lapped by Simopets, who is in the lead. Let's watch some few laps on the T-Can with him, so as everyone can learn from him, also myself. He's an outstanding driver without assist, also driving without racing line and doing no mistakes. It's quite a big factor. Luca is retiring inside the pit lane, deciding he had enough of the race, sadly for him, after the contact with Mason, where it looks so good for the race for the Aston Martin driver. He's strict to retire. And now Dirt Shark, let's get on board with him. He's really close to Neil, who has probably done something of a mistake, and also his red light is flashing, so it means that he's below 10% of ERS. So we're gonna have a really good fight in the last 3 laps between the two of them for the P3, who will guarantee 8 points to the one who get it. Neil is below 10%, while Dirt Shark has 40, but he's still storing the energy. He does want to leave it from the very last lap, or very last opportunity, to stay as close as possible, and maybe to surprise his opponent, making him that he hasn't the ERS to play with. Also, Brooke is really close to Deep Power, who has dropped down to 9.2 seconds to Fred Nolasco, who is now on a net P5 because of the gap he made. Oh, Julius Race goes into the pit to get the fastest lap. He won't get overtaken by Nell, who is just about to cross to face the last corner. And Dirt Shark, Nell has bigger problems than Julius Race Pit thinks he has. Dirt Shark right behind him, and Nell managed to resist, to hold another lap, but we will see if he'll get the opportunity. And the speed, the power, the energy recovery system in the hand. So for this last lap, Simopets is right behind them. Is just about, is soon. Sorry, is close. So they might have to let him by, but it seems like they have the pace to hold him for another lap. Dirt Shark doesn't want to put overtake on. We are on the last lap. We are now on the last lap for the two of them, whilst we have to go on board with Simopets, who is gonna cross the line on P1 and win the Brazilian Grand Prix, but we have to switch it very soon. The Dirt Shark, credit to Simopets to win the race, most likely to Julius Race because he's gonna finish on P2. Let's see, we'll see if we'll get the additional point and matching the result of Simopets. We have many comments. Amazing race for Simopets indeed, my friend. Deep Power finished P6, Brooke P7, Warren P8, Snaggletooth is gonna cross the line soon. Yes, P9. Also Barks just about in the point, finishing P10 very nicely down from him. But we're focusing up between the fight among Nail and Dirtshark. Let's see. As Julius makes the fastest lap, he hasn't. By 0.4 of a second, Simopets will get the most out of it with 11 points. Dirtshark is gonna drain all the CRS, but don't think it will be enough to line. We are gonna have a line finish, and Dirtshark didn't get the move done for only 10 milliseconds. What an amazing performance. With Dirtshark and Nell, I think Nell should try the overtakes soon, at least some 1-2 laps before. And now the last standings is Simopets in P1, Julius Race P2, P3 for Nell, an amazing result for the Haas, 8 points, where it was the last driver with 2 points. So amazing result from him. Very good race for everyone, clean race with a fantastic swapping places. Fred Nolasco P5 after a good recovery, deep power P6 in the McLaren. Brook P7, the strategy at the end paid off. Warren P8 in a Mercedes. Snaggletooth P9, very good performance from the Williams driver. And Baxter Hood completing the top 10, getting the last point. And that's it from the round 5 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for everyone who stayed here with me, commentating this race, making company. Thank you very much. We're gonna see I'm gonna see you next week for round 6. Stay tuned for the UKSS.com Beth Racing League.